Squires to Story Lords, a prompt-based fiction podcast with 2 prompts, 3 stories, and infinite laughter, if you're lucky, I guess. I'm Rich Masters. With me, as always, is Jeff Pennington.
Howdy ho.
And Josh.
You did him
Remember
first
that show?
last time.
Did I do it first last time? Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm really salty about what just happened.
We can go back.
Yeah, okay, we don't. No.
Go ahead, start over. We're not going to cut any of this. Go ahead and start over.
I'm Rich Masters, and with me, as always, is Josh Henderson.
Hi.
And Jeff Pennington.
Hello.
And secret guest. No, not really.
What?
What?
Not really. Not really.
God, that'd be a secret to us, too.
Rich buried the secret guest in the backyard
Some stones.
so nobody would find him.
Just like
this-
Grogu.
This week, our prompts were Trenchcoats and unexpected guests.
Oh, that's so spooky how you said that.
Yep.
I don't think our stories are going to live up to that level of spookiness.
It's all downhill from here.
I wanted to give it some suspense in the fact that my story has no suspense. It has plenty of jokes, but no actual story.
Well,
That's good.
I'd like to put an asterisk next to my story. It's not going to be as funny as usual. Just fucking deal with it. Pretend. Yeah. Everybody pretend.
Just
Everybody pretend.
Thank you.
Oh, man, I'm laughing already at it.
well, I mean, 2 episodes ago, I did a 20-page story that didn't have a single joke in it. So,
Yeah. 2 episodes ago, I my cat died, so that's not funny either.
No, this is the unfunny episode of Lords. If you were waiting for it, we're here.
We're here. We finally made it.
Anyway,
Rich, are you gonna introduce Josh or what?
maybe. Or you were talking about dead cats and stuff. I wanted to give it a little bit of time. Like, it's just.
You wanted to let it breathe, unlike my dead cat who no longer is breathing.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Or like when Freezer
understand.
returned, too quick. So the impact is lost.
It's just to show that Trunks is real powerful.
Yeah,
like,
how strong
we're at
he
a
is,
different
yeah.
level of power than we were a little bit ago now.
It's parabolic. It's exponential.
And
It really is.
Speaking of hidden power levels, let's head over to Daranos and start the episode strong.
Is that how it works? Okay.
That was a really good segue.
Thanks.
I like that.
It was almost too good.
It's-
My episode this week, I just named it like 2 seconds ago, is called Help Computer.
You have to say it in that voice.
Yeah, help computer. The moonlight over Grawl was especially bonerific. Ever since the Lich's destruction, things in the city and in Darness as a whole were looking up. Water tasted a little cleaner, the weed was a little danker, and the toppies a little more sloppy all around.
wow.
At Flamingos headquarters, the patrons were piling in by the dozens. The irony that this once secret base of a group of vagabond criminals now being the hottest spot in Grawl did not go unnoticed. Hey, where's Debbie? Shouted Fred from behind the bar, his hands moving quickly, mixing drinks and wiping down the bar. I need more olives, Debbie. I already gave them to you, she yelled from the back where she was stocking shelves. Most of it was contraband, but she was helping out where she could, even though the organizational skills of Fred the Skull Peeler was about as reliable as a podcaster who needed to write his story the night before the show.
Reliable.
Well, I'm running low again, kid, Fred shouted. I already gave you all of them, Demi chided. Fred could practically feel her sarcastic smile coming through the wall. Suddenly, a roar of cheers rang through the establishment as 2 heroes walked through the door. Sid! Shouted drunken orcs and dogmen alike. Ugla! Screamed Chickpea as she leapt down from her stool and ran to hug Ugla like she was a long-lost sister. How was your sexcation? Chick asked. It was good, Ugla said, looking to Sid for more input. We rode bone skis and danced with homunculi and bagools. Oh, and we had lots of public sex.
bagools exist in Darano's canon.
They were there. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Chick said, giving her the respect knuckles. Over in a darkened corner of the bar sat a lone figure puffing on a pipe. His fedora covered his face. And even though the summer months were close, he wore a long trench coat. This would have seemed suspicious, but people in Daranos be wearing like ball gags and ashless chaps and chains and shit. It's basically a German techno love parade every day, and everyone is techno Viking. He puffed smoke from his nose.
What a fucking reference.
Dude, techno Viking rules. Unless he doesn't. I don't know. Is he problematic?
Know.
He could be.
He's been cancelled.
Has he been canceled?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Oh, sorry. Where was I? He puffed smoke from his nose and pulled his hat down lower as to not be seen. How's Squib adjusting to life here? Ugla asked, actually concerned about the little guy. We have him doing sign work outside, Chick answered. Meanwhile, outside of Flamingos headquarters, Squib was helicoptering an arrow-shaped sign around his tiny dork while gesticulating with his hands in the direction of the bar. Bar here! Get your bar! All your bar needs! He yelled as passers-by mostly ignored him. We've got booze, we got glory holes, we got all the bar you can lean on, and then some. Hey! Quiet down over there, rodent! Some of us have work in the morning! A voice shot through the darkness from a window above. Old man Wilkins, Squib gritted his teeth. I swear, old man, if you ever show your face down here, I'll curb stomp the dentures right out of your moldy suckhole. You hear me, Wilkins?
Wow.
You'll be sucking concrete out of your gums for the remainder of your short, dirt-sucking, piss-riddled life. Squib screamed up at the elderly gentleman. All the while, the sign was still helicoptering on his dingus. Yeah, talk dirty to me, you little rat, old man Wilkins said as he began to reach below his belt while holding a pair of all-sea binoculars in his other hand. Oh, he's settling in pretty well then, Ugla said, relieved. As the night wound down, almost every patron had gone home or been kicked out to whatever sidewalk they preferred to sleep on. But all but the trenchcoat man in the corner. Fred and Chick were the only two awake yet and were cleaning up. Fred decided it was time to shut the doors for the night, so he wandered over to the man, half presuming that the man was passed out. Hey, buddy. You don't have to go home, but you should, get the fuck out of here since I'm going to lock the doors and you'll be stuck in here. And I'm not comfortable with that arrangement since you're a stranger, Fred said eloquently.
Wow. Straight to the point.
That tickled me, especially for some reason. I don't know why.
It's that old saying. You never heard that saying?
That is I've seen that on carved wood in kitchens, I believe.
You put it up with one that says, home or
wine o'clock.
Wine o'clock, hell yeah.
It's wine o'clock somewhere. The man did not move. Fred couldn't see his eyes under his hat, so he leaned down to get a closer look. Maybe the candlelight on the table would help shed a clue on the state of this vagrant's consciousness. As he bent down, he saw it. One gold eye.
What?
With a snap, the man grabbed Fred's hand.
back.
And twist. It's too early. It's
too early for Frieza to be back.
It's way too early.
Shit. With his snap, the man grabbed Fred's hand and twisted the wrist, snapping it. With the other hand, the man grabbed some pocket sand and tossed it into Fred's face. The sand dissolved into the air, making a thick smoke just as Chickpea rounded the corner of the bar. Hey, what the fuck? She yelled. Just as she finished, a dart hit her in the throat and she collapsed into a heap onto the piss-covered floor.
Why is there piss?
It's an alley.
It's a bar.
Bar alley. Yeah.
It's a bar. There's piss everywhere. Don't you piss at the bar? Just
in the
there,
bathroom.
Oh,
where all the stickers are on the walls constantly.
I didn't know J.D.
Royalties
Rockefeller was in
What about if you have to mark your bar territory?
Yeah.
And
that's how people know this is my bar.
Well, I'll sprinkle and tinkle, but I'm not going to full and blast piss.
Fair enough.
All right. We gotta baby steps. Click, clop, click, clop, click, clop. Fred rubbed his head. The immense pain behind his eyes was almost enough to make him vomit had he not been an expert in not vomiting. Part of his training his master put him through by making him eat pickled hot dogs called century dogs. He also couldn't chew them and had to suck them down deep throat style. What the fuck happened? Fred said to himself. Chick was starting to awaken next to him. She, on the other hand, had no vomit training and immediately retched. She swung herself over the side of whatever conveyance they were on, just in time for projectile, sparkly, rainbow-colored vomit to spew forth like Old Faithful at a sweet 16 birthday party.
What?
Fuck. Yeah, didn't you know that? Didn't you know how to do that? Fuck. What the fuck? What the fucking fuck, man? She moaned as she lay down next to Fred, her lips covered in sparkled glitter that tasted like stomach acid and bile. You're awake then? Said the trenchcoat man. He was up front sitting on a rickety wagon, which was more of a cart with wheels. Ahead of him was a desiccated single horse held together by barely any tendons or muscle. He tried to neigh, but could only manage a sound similar to that of the one your mama makes when I give her the old samurai snorkel.
Samurai snorkel.
I want to know what that move is.
I'll show you later.
It's not got anything to do with donuts, has it?
Maybe.
Is this a real thing? Samurai snorkel?
I don't think so. Now he's looking it up. Look it up later.
Hold on. Not good.
You can hear you pounding on your keyboard.
I'm doing it as softly as I fucking can.
It's
too.
fucking
It's the
not
shittiest
soft.
part.
All right, boys. Save it for
It's not even a real
break.
fucking thing.
You son of a bitch! Fred yelled as he tried to charge the man. He fell backward immediately, his head ringing like church bells on the day or Christ faced Michael Jordan in one-on-one b-ball. I think we all remember who won that one.
The fans.
Easy there, big guy, the man said. I dosed you both with some pretty powerful stuff. It's gonna take a while to leave your system. Fucking shit. Fucking what the fuck, man? Chick said to nobody in particular. She leaned over the edge of the cart and blew chunks at a sophomore level. It's a mixture of giggle dirt, brown, which is cocaine and gunpowder, some dust I found in a bottle of an old abandoned apothecary labeled Rohypnol, and the pencil shaving from a cursed pencil I found that could never stay sharpened, but also could never be sharpened down to nothing. Fred looked around, the light finally dulling enough that he could see where they were going. They were on an ancient abandoned bridge atop ruins that have always stood near Grawl. We all knew this. Looming over the city like an ancient warning. Parts of the bridge were collapsed over the millennia. People had made makeshift rickety fixes to it in order to traverse the harsh landscape more efficiently. But only those who were desperate would risk this route. Fred knew all too well where this bridge led. Neo Old New Jersey.
Oh my God.
Where are we headed? Fred asked, knowing full well the answer. To meet a friend, the man said, giving Fred nothing. The man turned and removed his fedora. There, in all his desiccated remains, was Duncan. Half of his face was missing. His muscles and bones underneath were as gaunt and desiccated as the skin, which was still covering some of his face and presumably body. One yellow golden eye remained, while the other was replaced with a jeweler's loop. Fred didn't know whether it was for function or just a placeholder. You son of a bitch, Chick yelled. She tried to summon a spell or conjure her staff, but she was weakened far more than Fred was. Now, little pea princess, Duncan chided. We're gonna go meet Peppercorn. She felt herself gasp. Where the absolute hell could they have gone? Sid said to himself. Demi, Ugla, Buffcat, and Squib were looking through the all-see-ball security footage, but there was a gap at about 3 a.m. I don't even know why we have these things, Demi said, scrolling through the footage. It's like Crime 101. First you disable the all-see balls, then you take the loot or kidnap the mark or whatever. Demi, how's your psychometry? Ugla asked. Oh, God, Demi sighed. I don't even remember my times tables all that well, let alone algebra or anything like that, Auntie Uggs. No, Ugla laughed. It's using objects to physically determine surrounding events. Oh, psychometry, Debbie said, pretending to know. Sure, it's not good. I've never heard of that before. Ugla guided her over to the table where the stranger had last been seen on the all-see footage. He was the last to leave, and with his suspiciousness, it didn't take a Sherlock to figure out he was up to no good. At least up to shenanigans. Ugla sat on the floor and began to chant. A magical circle of runes formed like a glove around her hand and up her wrist. She moved her hand around and stopped at the table. Demi followed her lead and managed to produce the runes on her first try. Hers were a little more red and wavery. She moved her hand over and stopped at a spot on the floor. Oh no, Demi said. You found something? Ugla paused for a moment. Yeah. Wet, hot piss, Demi said, squishing her face in disgust.
Well, we know
this place.
We know Jeff didn't do it.
No, he didn't.
I'm sorry.
Look, hold on, let me check the all-see footage. Clomp, 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 clomp. That's Jeff. That's how he types.
Josh has such a problem with me typing, man. It is ongoing.
It's misophonia. It's not your fault. This place. God damn it! This place is covered in it, she almost screamed. Yeah, we should get like someone in here to take care of that, Sid said from across the room. He was embarrassed by the state of this place. When he was living the bachelor crime life with his new gang, he didn't much care, but now his woman was here, and I guess it was time to not be a complete slob anymore. Farewell, sweet slovenly freedom.
It's so true.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Here, Ugla said, stopping. Giggle dirt. She said, doing that movie thing where cops just put a finger in it and the tip and taste the drugs.
Ugh.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's doing the drugs.
Off the piss floor?
Well, you gotta, yeah. Just bust out your fucking stolen evidence, Benjamins, and sneef that shit like a man. At this point, you pig-ass bitches. Not like you're gonna get fired for failing a drug test. I'm pretty sure they don't even have drug tests.
Not a fucking chance.
No, and even if they did, they'd just get suspended until they were paid pension.
Why would they even go through that? They would just be like, whoops, we lost it.
Yeah.
You're fine. It's bullshit.
They make you take a test that makes certain you're beating your wife, though. They kick you off the force otherwise.
That's part of it. That's part of it. That doesn't really help us, though, does it? Demi asked. Ugla concentrated and could see in her mind the man from the all-see footage. It just focused on him, and she focused hard on his face. Underneath, she caught one glimpse, one golden yellow eye. She gasped and broke the connection. No, she said. As the rickety cart made its way deeper into New Jersey, the ancient ruins of the old world crumbled around them more and more. Stay inside the cart, Duncan warned. Yeah, this cart, so safe. Better not leave the safety of this wooden open-top cart. Wouldn't want to have to lightly jog to get back in, Chick seethed. They're faster than you think, Duncan said. Who is? Fred asked. The Droggers. Duncan pointed to a group of husks, frozen solid against a building, hiding from what little light got through the natural smog of this hellhole. If you set foot on the ground, they wake up, and they are fast. Yeah, well, we kicked your ass so hard. How hard could they be? Chick smiled at herself. You're weakened from the dust. Plus, they come out of everywhere. Duncan pointed to the ancient buildings, which looked like a bomb had hit it, and the upper and lower floor windows, husks of Droggers were lined up like mannequins, rows of them. Spooky, Fred said to Chick, who smiled at him. You'll see, Duncan said. We're here. In front of them lay a sprawling complex of 3 separate enormous buildings. Large roadways connected this place with whatever was here before. What, is this place? Chick said in awe. You mean besides hell on earth, Duncan said.
Wow, dramatic much.
Come on now, Duncan.
Newark International Airport, he said slightly.
Wow.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It really sucks ass.
Yeah.
What do you mean I gotta take a monorail to get to the other part? What the fuck is this? Disney World? As they entered the ruins, Chick and Fred saw images still on the walls of feminine forms smiling at them. Behind them, usually a mechanical bird was frozen in time flying through the clouds. How do they, get these things to fly? Chick wondered aloud. Some say they had enormous sources of power, Fred said quietly. They were just called, these were called non-bone jets, and it's rumored that their power source was known as jet fuel. It was so powerful it could melt steel beams.
Unlikely.
Whoa, that can't be true, though, can it? Chick said up and Fred.
This is a fantasy story, everyone.
So wait, is this the first time that you've revealed that Daranos is the land after hours?
No, there's been others.
There have been other hints and stuff.
Oh, right. Okay, well, ignore me then.
But it's not not as open as this one is, I guess. He shrugged. How do you know so much about this? Chick asked Fred. I used to help Ugg study for a wizard history exam. It's forbidden knowledge, but not if you put it on a flashcard and use it to study, I guess. I don't know. Shh, Duncan said quietly but firmly. Up ahead, Jersey Droggers. Ahead, a single zombified husk was running its fleshless face against the doorway, smearing dried blood and viscous goop all over the metal. That's where we need to go, Duncan whispered. What's in there? Chick whispered back. Basement, Duncan said firmly. Newark Airport doesn't have a basement. Everyone knows that, Fred said. It's the only place I can find the right equipment for Peppercorn's survival, Duncan said. Stay here. I have an idea, he said as he moved quietly off into the shadows. What's he doing? Fred wondered. The answer came a second later when a trench-coated man stepped on broken glass purposefully, causing Drogger to turn their heads slowly from all directions all over the building. Hey, Drogger, the Giants fucking suck, Duncan said, referring to the Northern Jersey professional murder ball team, the Giants, who were in fact giants. Didn't help them, though, since they were perennial losers who sucked so much. People who got their logo tattooed on themselves often wound up covering them up with the name of all of their exes instead. In typical neo old New Jersey fashion, this enraged the brainless husks. They seethed at the thought of being forced to love a murder ball team whose record was so abysmal that they had to invent base 10 just to keep track of all their losses. The invention of 0 also helped to keep track of all their wins. The speediness of the Droggers indeed surprised Fred and Chick. They saw a few sprinting from the upper levels down into the area that they were. Go! Get him to safety! Duncan yelled as he pulled out a revolver. He fired a few shots and plinked off a few Jersey scum. I mean Drogger scum! But with only one eye now, he was a shell of what he once was. Fred and Chick didn't waste time and ran to the door, slamming it shut behind them. Down below a single red light and pitch blackness. He better me down here, Chick said, or I'm gonna let those Drogger fuckers eat Duncan's dick off, or whatever these fucking sickos do around here. Ahead, they could only hear a faint clicking. Once they rounded a few turns and the red light became brighter. There, sprawled out against the wall, was an ancient computer. An all-C ball? Fred asked. But cubed? An all-C cube? A face zitted onto the screen. It looked like a Max Headroom version of Chickpea's lost brother, Peppercorn. Welcome, friends, to the New York International Airport Party Zone and Danceatorium, the voice said, and turned on a disco ball, along with some ancient jams that blared loudly. Shh. Chickpea shushed as she ran over to the screen. Peppercorn? It's me, Chick, she said, lightly touching the screen. The image of Peppercorn didn't respond for a few seconds and then said, I am no longer Peppercorn. I am Computer Corn. Chick sighed. It sort of sounded like her brother, but the last time she saw him, he was corrupted by the Golden Lynch. It was flying around as an Apache attack helicopter, shooting missiles and guns from his arms and face. Okay, Computer Corn, Chick relented. What's the last thing you remember? I remember flying around as an Apache helicopter, shooting missiles and guns from my arms and face.
I'm glad we had that update.
It was the most...
It never gets old.
It was the most fun I have ever had. The computer image smiled, but then the image zitted and seemed to freeze. Sister was there. She was injured, Computer Corn said almost sadly. Yes, Chick said. That was me. I'm her. Computing, Computer Corn said flatly. His hard drive was working overtime, clicking away. This thing had to be sentient. Error, he said firmly. No, it's me, Pep. Come on, man, Chick said desperately. Error, he said. Porn clog and port 7. Well, sure sounds like Peppercorn, Fred said with a laugh. They both turned to the entranceway and heard the telltale rustling of mindless Jersey shamblers. We gotta go, Fred said. Error, Computer Corn said. Another exit, he said as he showed a map of the basement on his screen. Bring printer. Computer Corn likes to print out art. Just then his printer spit out a dot matrix print of a dope pair of triple F hangers.
Nice.
Definitely Peppercorn, Fred said, folding the print up and putting it in his pocket for later. As they exited out on the ancient runway, the night had already begun to take over. Thousands of glowing eyes reflected out of what little light was left like cats in the dark. Over here, you seagull humpers! Duncan shouted, firing off his revolver. A few droggers dropped dead in the dirt. Run, Duncan! Chick yelled, but he only turned to give her a wink. That was never the plan, little P, he said. He turned just enough to open his coat and show them he was strapped with like 100 goddamn sticks of dynamite. What are those, sausages? Fred asked. But before he could finish, an explosion so loud ripped through the air that the shockwave knocked them back on their asses, as what was once left of the droggers was now a smoking hole. Those sausages just blew up Duncan, Fred yelled over the frigging ears.
I was gonna eat those.
Damn it, what a waste.
What a crack team.
Let's go, Chick yelled. They managed to find the car and load up Computer Corn into it. It was a long and quiet ride home. Finn. After credits scene.
Shit.
Maybe, Demi posited, maybe the giggle dirt is from Uncle Steakum's dealer, and he and Chickpea went on a drug-fueled sex bender that led them to wake up in another city not knowing how or when they got there. I don't, Uglicide, I don't want to think about my brother like that, Demi dear. Okay, yeah, sure, Demi said, looking back down. Maybe, Demi again posited. Chick got stuck in the window, right? And in order to get it open, because it was stuck, Fred used the giggle dirt to gain strength to open it. But in doing so, he pushed Chickpea out of the window along with himself, and then the wind blew up Chickpea's skirt, giving Fred full view of the goods, you know? Sid sat at the bar, nodding as if he was following along, and as he let out a quiet, And then, Debbie continued, Fred got a penis boner, but in order to save them both, he grabbed her and made sure he landed on the ground first to cushion her fall. At the same time, his penis boner went inside of her stinkle wrinkle, and then, since you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube, pun intended, they did the whole sex bender thing I said before. Ugly aside. I think I'll be right back. I have some things to take care of, Squib said as he grabbed his arrow sign with a hole in it and retreated to his room. Okay, that's the end.
That story gave me a penis boner.
Fucking penis boner. Come on.
Any of those are probable. I mean, who knows?
True.
Demi has been corrupted by these flamingos.
She's like a kid. What did you talk about when you were a kid?
I guess
Probably
penis boners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's been set free by these flamingos.
Yeah, let her be, you know?
She probably
Stop trying to put her in a cage, Jeff.
in a cage of no pissing in bars.
Yeah, I'm really getting a beating this episode because I'm not pissing enough. I put people into mental cages.
Yeah, I don't want to like what's her name from Yellow Jackets you when they kind of just shun her because she doesn't know how to act in the woods, and then they eat her.
Wow.
Well, let's go back.
That's what we're
tick.
doing to Jeff.
Let's go back a tick. I'm not opposed to this.
Getting eaten?
Yeah, define eating.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Like literally consumed.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about eating out my bussy.
Your penis
Eating his
boner?
penis
No, we're not
boner.
doing it.
And it's stinkle wrinkle.
That story ruled. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm sure we're gonna be saying penis boner for the next week in the group chat.
Yeah, penis boner's gonna go along. It's got legs, that one.
Oh my god, it's got legs.
Stinkle wrinkle, also good.
If your penis boner has legs, then you need to see a doctor.
It's not got legs, but it is a foot. Ew!
Hey, he means
don't
12
even-
inches.
I don't even think we need to segue to the next part. That was it.
Alright, everyone, we'll be right back.
I said no segue.
This shit ain't vital.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had time to take a sip of drink or, visit the loo, whatever you need to do. Maybe write
Change
your
your
Magnus open.
cum rag.
Yeah. Change your pantaloons.
You can pause it. It's not a live
You
feed.
can't. Only
No, you
pussies
gotta-
pause it.
Yeah, it's a race. You gotta see if you can beat it.
A race to the bottom.
Yeah.
Speaking of race to the bottom,
That's a bad segue. Jeff, it's your turn to read. You're not last this week, so you're not going to win this race to the bottom, unfortunately.
oh, we'll see.
Read your 17-page unfunny story, please.
Yeah, Jeff.
it's-
14 pages.
It's 14. Don't worry. The title of my story is The Missing Melody, Chapter 1, Noble Intentions.
I love that movie with what's his name?
Sarah Michelle
Right?
Gellar.
Reese Witherspoon.
What's his name? Reese Witherspoon, yeah. I'm kind of at a loss for where to start. I guess I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Calvin Noble, though I go by Cal. The nickname Cal was an early attempt in my life to seem a little less dweeby, like maybe I'd seen a titty or even a titty and a half, but I don't think people really cared either way. That's kind of the story of my life up until a certain point. This is the story of that exact point, actually. The year was 1957, the place was Los Angeles, and I was working for my brother's accounting firm, called Fuck'em Deep and Noble. Formerly, it was called Fuck'em Deep and Sploogencum, but Mr. Sploogencum went back to Austria after an inquiry into his whereabouts during the war got a little too close to the truth.
Camp Sploogencum was a bad one.
He didn't go to Argentina with the rest of them?
My brother Monty ran the company, but I still only ended up in a mid-level bean counter position down on the 4th floor. He had a palatial office up on 16, and I had an ongoing beef with a spider the size of a beagle that lived behind the radiator 10 feet away from my desk, which also happened to be as far as the room reached in any direction. Not to mention the bathroom was the next door down, so I spent most of my time either smelling pure human shit and piss or my own growing flop sweat. It wasn't ideal.
Ew.
But my love life was finally going the way I... What?
What?
Uh-oh. But my love life was finally going the way I'd always hoped it would. I'd met this beautiful woman at the music shop. I'd play a little bit of violin for fun, and she had enchanted my world. She was tall and thin, the face of a muse, the kind that could have launched 1,000 ships, the kind of true natural beauty that the master painters would search their entire lives to capture. Plus, she had an ass like she was smuggling pumpkins into the country, down from the top of the giant's beanstalk, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Her name was Melody. Isn't that genuinely amazing? Melody Baxter. She was restringing her own violin, and we struck up a conversation about music and how it made our hearts soar. I remember my heart was beating in my chest like an entire stamping plant had been shoved up into me through my open ass cheeks. But I somehow managed to ask her if she would go to the Philharmonic with me. I couldn't believe I'd managed to even speak to her, let alone ask that stupid-ass question. I believed it even less when she giggled and said she'd love to. I remember telling my desk mate Charlie about her when we first started dating, showing him a photo of her raven dark locks floating like clouds around her cherubic features. He had turned his nose up in disgust. "You are dating this?" he spat out, offended, shoved the photograph back into my hands. "Well, yeah, what's the problem exactly?" I had managed to sputter out in my trademark witty manner. I guess it's important to note that Melody Baxter, the love of my life, was black. I had been cut off from speaking to my parents about it and had gotten used to the pushback from people even at this point, even in the middle of cosmopolitan Los Angeles. "Well, you're like a dumpy little pig man and she looks like that, so you gotta be bullshitting me," Charlie had said back to me, without even a hint of a joke in his voice. He was looking at me like I'd told him I was climbing down Mrs. Claus's chimney at the North Pole behind Santa's back and had offered him a cutout of the cardboard back of a package of Christmas cakes as proof. And by chimney, I meant her gaping ho-ho hole. You're not mad she's black? I asked, bewildered. "Am I mad that your completely fictional girlfriend is black? No, Noble. I'm not really bothered by that, to be honest with you. I try to reserve all my racism for people who actually exist," Charlie had muttered back. Already going back to typing up a report or something or another that probably didn't matter, like everything we did at this company, honestly. This went on for months as Melanie and I had gotten closer, moved in together. She had even come around the building to visit me a couple times early on. Nobody believed she was actually dating me for so long that it would have seemed comical if I hadn't been on the ass end of the entire affair. Eventually, they all started agreeing, silently or not so silently, depending on their level of decorum, that Melody must be stepping out on me, cheating on me regularly with every type of man in the city. "Getting the full dick down from the whole town," they said. Which was clever rhythmically, but still hurtful. There was some pure old-fashioned racism in it, of course, but I think most of the problem was their perception of me.
That's the Jezebel, right?
Yeah, until that day came anyway. I sat quietly, staring out the window for a long time that morning, mostly wondering if Melody was maybe stepping out on me. Charlie hadn't been so far off base with his assessment after all. I was a man of 5'5", with a consistent panda bear shape and a style that mostly read as whatever was on the sale rack at Ye Olde Dan Flashes before they even invented patterns. That day, I'd even tried to dress up since Melody and I had a date later that evening. I was wearing my blue blazer, red bow tie, Crispus white dress shirt, and salmon-colored slacks. It felt a little warm in Los Angeles spring, but I had managed to not sweat through even my undershirt yet, so I was counting it as a win.
Nice.
But Melody, my God, Melody looked like she was carved from marble by Donatello's own hands. Or was he the one who did machines? I forget.
No, you got it right the first time.
Wait, I think that was Leonardo. He invented the helicopter, right?
Wait, are you talking about Ninja Turtles or the guys?
Just then, the matte black desk phone next to me began to ring, jolting me out of my daydreaming and jolting this story forward finally, probably. I looked at Charlie, who hadn't even raised his head when the ringing started. He was still just typing away, just like always. I never particularly liked Charlie, but something about him not liking me bothered me. I guess I always wanted to be liked too much. That probably stemmed from my childhood with my less than loving parents. It was the, "Answer the goddamn phone, Noble!" Charlie interrupted my second reverie without looking up. I fumbled the receiver off the hook, almost dropping it as I did most things, but managed to catch it at the last second. "Hello?" I managed to stutter into the receiver. "This is a call from floor 16, Montgomery Noble," the nasally female voice on the other line said in an efficient tone. "Oh, yes, Georgia, I'll take the call, please," I returned in my sweetest, most pleasant voice. I could hear her click her teeth in annoyance at my mere existence on the other line. I tried not to sigh at the regularity. "One moment, Mr. Noble," she said back with venom on my name. We'd been set up on a blind date once by my brother, and I'd spilled a plate of spaghetti bolognese on her best dress. And then the second bowl of spaghetti bolognese they brought out to replace it, and then 3 bowls of gelato. But I did manage to stop myself from spilling the espresso on her. The waiter didn't appreciate me diverting it onto his lap, though. 3 clicks pinged through the line, and then the airy, open sound of my brother's gigantic office filled it up. His voice was gruff and stern as always, trying his damnedest to sound like Dad. "Cal, I need you to come up to 16. I got some bad news for you." What? The line went dead, and I contemplated how exactly Melody and I would afford our dingy dog bed of an apartment on her salary as a professional musician, and my new salary as an extremely underpaid back alley dick sucker.
Underpaid?
My employment never felt very safe before, even with my brother being the boss, but I still never expected to get shit canned before lunch on a Monday, but here we were. The elevator ride up was long and morose, even with Big Ed Grumsby from HR blasting ass for half the ride while he struggled to read at the 3rd grade level necessary to understand the Peanuts comic strip he clutched in his thick, sweaty mitts. The entire 16th floor of the building was taken up by executive offices, and the receptionist out front was a beautiful 20-something with her hair in a high beehive and her makeup pancaked on with a paint roller and spackle every morning. Myrna was her name, I think. She smelled like she smiled with cigarette-darkened teeth even at her age, though she rarely smiled at me. She simply pulled out a keycard and handed it to me and waved her hand back towards Monty's office. I hadn't been up there very often. As a matter of fact, I saw Monty less than some of you probably see your relatives who live across the country. Even the ones you hate that won't shut the fuck up about woke and DEI, which is what people say now in 1957 is why I know it, but don't look it up. But I still knew where to go. "Bring me back that card when you're through, though, remember? I want that key card back enough to have to see you again. So no sticky fingers," Myrna spat out at me. I wasn't really paying much attention to her to be offended, though. "Come in and close the door," Monty had said in his best stentorian voice, waving an arm towards the small chair in front of his gigantic desk. A spate of windows lined the back wall behind him, filling the room with almost blinding morning light. I squinted as I closed the door softly behind me and trudged the several miles of linoleum to make it to my execution. The chair was so much smaller than the one Monty was seated in, it felt like I was in the cuck chair watching him butt-fuck my career right in front of me.
Jesus.
It was also uncomfortable as hell, which just added insult to injury. There was a long silence as he rubbed at the bridge of his nose under his glasses. Well, I mustered up the courage to speak out. When do I have to clean my desk out? Do I at least get to keep the mug with the company logo on it? It does technically have my name on it, too. What? No, shut the fuck up, huh? Monty muttered out, taking his circular glasses off and waving them around in the air. He placed them on the desk in front of him. Look, Cal, yeah? I sputtered out now, a lot more confused and unsettled by my brother's strange behavior suddenly. He hadn't paused while speaking since we were both still in duked-up diapers. It wasn't his style. Cal, we just received a call from the police, Monty began, steepling his fingers in front of his face. It turns out that Melody woman actually did live with you. Go fucking figure on that one. He paused a second. I was dangling forward out of the chair. My jaw dropped to the floor in terror at what could have happened. Oh, and she's missing. The apartment's been turned over, door left open, she's gone. Vamoosed. She took all her stuff and fucked off. Left your ass high and dry. Dumped you like a prom night bad decision in a dumpster behind a roadside diner. She juked you, dumbass. Gone and out. I get it, goddammit! I yelled out. Tears welling at the edges of my eyes. Monty stared at me, wide-eyed and blank-faced. I settled back into my chair, a deep, painful numbness overcoming me. I sat silent for a moment. Come on, Cal, you had to know she was fooling around on you. I mean, he waved his hands as if gesturing out some kind of code that made sense to him, pointing at me intermittently and then shrugged. You're you. And she's some beautiful black broad. You had to know what was going on, how it wasn't going to last forever. I stood up and rubbed the sleeve of my blazer across my eyes to hide the tears that were threatening to boil over and down my cheeks. I'm gonna go home, was all I could manage to get out. Yeah, sure, Cal, Monty said with a sincerity I hadn't expected. He pushed his chair up to his desk and began to scribble something down on a piece of paper with his pen. Half under his breath, he muttered, You can make up the time on the next 3 weekends, it's fine.
What?
I was already in the elevator by the time he'd looked back up again, I imagine. I didn't even return the key card to Myrna.
Fuck you, Myrna.
3 months passed. The police had concluded, before even looking at the apartment, that Melody had just up and left me. I guess I couldn't protest all that much with them. All of her clothing, her jewelry, everything had been taken. Except for her violin. It sat on the false mantle in the living room like a crown jewel in our apartment, even amongst the peeling wallpaper and water damage, to make it feel like a home. It was also Melody's life. She'd been playing that violin since she was in 9th grade. It had been given to her by her father only months before the car accident that took his life. It meant literally everything to her. That violin and the genuine, deep, and wonderful love we'd shared with one another for so long both told me she hadn't left of her own volition. The police just laughed at me. You never thought was stepping out on you? They had jeered. I was left alone in that dusty shithole without any recourse left to me. Eventually, after the haze of sadness had parted slightly and I had run out of ice cream to ladle into my mouth with a double-sized soup spoon, a memory hit me like a howitzer shell. I'd actually gone to school with a guy who had become a private investigator. He was a pretty goddamn weird guy, but he'd actually been a friend to me at one point, and now he was the shining beacon of hope. My only hope.
Frankenstein PR.
This is 20 years too late for that.
Sure,
I searched the yellow page.
That stopped you before. Or
Yeah,
he's
right.
out of date. Oh, yeah, right.
Sure.
I searched the yellow pages for him feverishly, or like whatever other directory existed at this time if the yellow pages didn't. And finally
I don't know. That's a good question.
I finally found him in the cheapo sections in the back where only a few words are printed per business. I ran my fingers over the black lettering on faded gold paper and smiled for the first time in 3 months, the words falling out of my mouth. Jaime Hardaway, Private Eye, We Solve 'em Good, with good spelled G-U-D, for letter count price, I imagine.
Oh, you're totally fine. It was 1886. You're
Oh, shit, yeah.
That's crazy.
I didn't need to include that joke. I had made it across town in Little Betsy, my old jalopy of a car that was lime green, unfortunately, within the hour. making record time that would have landed me behind bars had any Seamus worth his salt spotted me, but cops are cops no matter what time period or story genre, so they were all probably beating some minority and or their own wives too much to notice the infraction.
Oh, no.
The building looked a lot more run down than I'd expected. If I'd had seen it on any other day, I'd have assumed it was about to be condemned, seeing as how it was a lopsided bunch of black-blue tile and wood leaning slightly to one side more than it was a habitable structure. Still, I found myself at the end of my rope, and the only thing below me was abyss, so I made my move inside. It took me the better part of an hour to parse my way around the dilapidated old hallways inside, up the battered and broken remnants of a staircase in the back, stepping over what could have easily been the remnants of a person, or just the biggest, gnarliest pile of shit you've ever seen.
Sorry, I did that.
And all the way back down the hallway to find the office I was looking for. And not being in the best shape, as I said earlier, I came up to the door panting and huffing like my life depended on it, which it probably did. At least I had confirmation I was where I'd set out to arrive. The door had a piece of poster paper labeled over the frosted glass, which read in fairly fine black lettering, Jaime Hardaway, Private Eye, we solve 'em good, with good spelled G-U-D. The letter count price seemed to have been a real sticking point for him, I guess, or I hoped that was the reason. I rapped on the glass twice. Come in, a voice called out from beyond the door, high-pitched, but in that way that someone was obviously putting on a voice. I grimaced, but I went in anyway. I was greeted by an empty room with almost nothing on the walls, an empty desk covered in dust and cobwebs, and an old disgusting couch catty-cornered near the door into the next room with a small sign sitting on it which read, Please wait until receptionist calls you in. There is no, I muttered to myself, trying to adjust my coat so it didn't feel so hot in this stuffy, dusty little office, without taking it off and risking it touching anything. You may enter the main office now, the same faked high-pitched voice called from beyond the next wooden door. I hesitated for a moment. Now I said, the voice yelled after, not so high anymore, causing me to hop to in a way I'm not proud of and head through the door into the next room. Sitting with his feet up on his desk was a man I only half recognized from the young fellow I'd palled around with from my time back at Fairfax High School. He was taller than me, but stout, with a wide, bright grin and a full head of slicked back black hair that flew away a little in the front. Dark tan skin and a black turtleneck sweater with suspenders over it. Even indoors, he was wearing a newsboy cap slouched down over his forehead and orange-brown trousers, with almost matching leather shoes slung onto his dusty old oak desk. His arms flung out wide, and he motioned broadly as he called me out. A customer! Wonderful! How can I snoop for you? Mrs. Banging the mailman behind your back? Need a guy fully disappeared? We got a 2-for-1 deal on that this week. Hardaway, it's me, Cal Noble. We went to high school back together at... Wait, disappeared? What do you, I tripped over my own words eventually, stopping in my tracks and staring. Just a little joke in the trade. Sorry, I didn't mean to, offend. Hardaway said with a shrug of his shoulders and a slight frustration in his voice that said he was kind of bummed out that I hadn't gone for that choice more than he offended me.
It's a good deal.
I decided to pretend I didn't notice that. You, say we know each other? He added. Well, yeah, you don't remember me? We went to Fairfax High together. We, hung out pretty often. With Ray and Dubby and Eloise, remember? I started to feel offended and tailspin, but I was trying not to go into my normal social interaction mess per usual. Oh yeah, sure, of course, Ray and Bubby, yeah, whatever. Hardaway smiled a wide, dishonest smile and jumped to his feet, ushering me into the seat in front of his desk. Well, old pal, why don't you tell me what the problem is? Or who the problem is, he said with a huge dramatic wink. I wasn't going to pretend any of this wasn't weirding me out anymore. You don't remember me at all, do you? I asked as plainly as I could. Hardaway, halfway back to his seat, frowned in return. I stood up and dusted off the ass of my pants, hoping beyond hope I hadn't sat on some kind of bedbug nest in this heap of a shithole. Ugh. Come on now, am I to remember every little person I've ever known? Hardaway said, feigning offense and placing a hand gently to his chest over his heart. He paused and leaned forward. I mean little person like your size, by the way, Junior. Not like you matter less than other little people I've known. He then stood back up to his full height and placed his hand on his chest again. I bleed for my alma mater, old friend. I just, forgot for a second. It's whatevs.
Whatevs.
I really don't want to bother you. I'll just be going. I was already halfway across the room when Hardaway leapt in front of me and placed himself between me and the door with a huge, sheepish, apologetic smile on his face. I took a step away from him almost immediately. Come on, Goble, old pal, we go so far back, he placated and nodded along in time with his words. We're old pals, and old pals don't let old pals get foreclosed on because they haven't had a paying case in 6 months, right? Think about all that time we spent together frolicking through the school with Jay and Bubbles or whatever. Those were halcyon days, right? We were like the gods of the campus, probably. You don't want to dethrone a god, do you? It's noble, I cried out, causing him to take a step back away from me, which felt simultaneously great and terrible all at once, thanks to all the societal norms yelling like that were breaking and weighing on me all at once. I sighed and held my own hands up placatingly now. Look, I'm sorry for raising my voice, Hardaway, but it looks like maybe I've come to the wrong place. I should be on my way. Sure, I understand. All right, Hardaway said with this practiced let-down-sounding voice that worried me a little. He wafted across the room like a poor waif in a play and picked up a small sheet of paper and a pen, placed them on a ledger, and brought it over to me. Please just sign the guest book for me, okay? The landlord says if I can drum up enough people actually coming in for work, then he'll give me an extension. I gotta keep this place open, Noble. This is my dream we're talking about. And not even the one with Elizabeth Taylor and a tub full of delicious pudding. Or at least I think it's pudding. I looked from him to the paper he'd shoved in front of me. It did indeed say that it was the guest book registry and had his signature and someone else's at the bottom of the page. I sheepishly took the pen from him and jotted down my signature at the bottom. There were no others on it, I noted immediately. He smiled a too-wide smile and yanked the page away from me, then dropped it on his desk and drooped his head. Thank you for the pittance, good sirrah. I shall forever be in your debt. He tossed the ledger with the papers over under his desk. I already fucking said that. And with a waft of his arm, he swiveled it to point at the door. You could piss off now if you really feel like it. We'll meet up again tomorrow to discuss the specifics. What? I managed to choke out, looking him up and down, not unlike a gazelle looking at a leering lion. I don't need your services, I said, remember? Oh, yeah, of course, he said placatingly, with another great big smile on his face. He motioned to the door again. Don't forget to leave your information with my secretary. I paused, looking back out the door into the complete empty, dust-covered lobby, and then back to Hardaway. There's no one out there, Hardaway. As a matter of fact, who was that high-pitched woman calling me in to begin with? Hardaway stood silently, looking at me with blank eyes. What do you mean? I gotta go. Bye. I called out, turning and speed-walking as fast as I could back out to the lobby, back out the front office door, back down the stairs, and back the fuck out of that place for the rest of my life. It felt a little bit like making it out of the Hindenburg right before the gas ignited. I felt lucky for the first time in months. But that did leave me at square one. I decided to go back to the yellow pages, or whatever they happened to be. This time I decided to look towards the middle somewhere for a private detective, since there's no way in hell I could afford to hire someone reputable enough for the front. I spent several hours second-guessing myself for every single name. What if I ended up accidentally stumbling into a psychopath's murder den again, like last time? What if this one immediately jumps to throwing jizz at me? But I eventually landed on a name because it sounded and looked really cool on the page. There was a circular logo with an eye in the center behind a magnifying glass that bisected the name. Jack Jones, Private Eye. The blurb read, cases solved, loved ones found, secrets unearthed, all for a reasonable price. Everything was even spelled correctly. That's how low my bar was at this point. Subterranean. I decided he was the guy. Another crosstown trip, and it was afternoon already. My stomach was grumbling, but I really hadn't had the time to stop and eat. If only there was a place with food that was faster to get than usual.
I think McDonald's exists.
But alas, that's spaceman talk from the future. This building was at least looking like it belonged on the street and not in the dumpster next to your older brother after your mom's prom. Wait, why did I write that? That's awful. I don't think like that. What came over me? Anyway, I followed the clearly marked list of residencies in the building and arrived at the second floor to the offices I came looking for. The door was slightly ajar already, so I went ahead and pushed inside, finding myself face to face with an extremely smiley woman with bright red lipstick, almost the same color as her hair, typing away at a vintage-looking typewriter. "Oh, hi there! Welcome to the Jones Detective Agency. I'm Becky Cruz. I'm the receptionist. How are you?" She said with a bubbly excitement that was infectious. She was wearing a pillbox hat and a very well-tailored suit and skirt in navy blue, with a pair of red heels that matched her hair and lips, tapping away at the floor almost as quickly as her fingers were on the keys. Before I had a chance to respond, she continued, "Oh, you must be looking for Jonesy. Everybody is when they come by. I'm not jealous of nothing. Not at all." I'm Cal Noble. I'd like to speak to Mr. Jones about a case I'd like him to help me with. I forced out of my voice box like someone trying to wring ketchup out of the bottom of the bottle, looking around the room to avoid the force of this woman's personality bearing down on me. "Oh, Mr. Noble, that's a great name. I bet you get that all the time, though. It's really, Noble. I'm charmed. I tell you what, I'll dial up Jonesy and see if he's with it or not, alrighty?" She reached over and picked up the red-handled telephone on her desk and pressed a small switch on the bottom of it. "Jonesy, there's somebody here to see you. Yeah, he's a little cutie, too." I probably couldn't have turned redder if I had been dunked in a sea of tomato paste and flogged with whips. Not that I had ever had a dream like that or anything.
Sure.
No, of course not.
Oh, okay, I'll tell him. Becky flicked the switch on the side of the phone again and held the receiver up to her cheek, tilting her head to hold it. "Jonesy, Mr. Jones wants to know if this is a cheating wife case. He's not doing those no more. He keeps getting punched in the sniffer." No, it's a missing persons case. My girlfriend, Melody, I corrected, smiling that I wasn't being turned away just yet, or threatened physically like before. "Okie dokie," she said with a bright smile and closed eyes, flipping the phone back around to her ear and clicking the button on the side again. "Jonesy, he says it's a missing poisons."
Poisons?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, all right. She paused and nodded to something he was saying on the other end, then leaned away from the receiver towards me again. "Are you sure she didn't cut out on you? Dick'll make a broad do strange things." Yes, I'm sure. I was getting pretty fed up of that question, especially the part where they talk about some other dude's dick every time. My dick is fine, thank you. Perfectly serviceable cock on me, damn it.
Just what every woman wants. Perfectly serviceable dick.
Yeah.
Just good enough.
He's sure, Jonesy. Okay, alrighty. Kisses. She hung the phone up unceremoniously and motioned me back towards the door at the back of the room. "Go on through and tell him what all's you know, okay, Mr. Noble? He'll be sure to help you. He's a good man." Thank you, Miss Cruz, I said with all earnesty. "Oh, call me Becky, sweetie. You're too sweet to be on a second-name basis with." She smiled and chuckled at her own remarks, leaving me with that familiar feeling of not knowing if I'm being flirted with or made fun of.
What's the difference, you know?
Well, for you love that kind of thing.
It's just all the same thing. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Am I right, you fucking morons who I hate?
I got a penis boner now.
Oh, God.
Inside the next room was a well-maintained office with a big mahogany desk, 2 chairs in front of it, a huge rug in the middle of the room, filing cabinets against the walls, a radio set in the corner next to a couch, some lamps, Even the stereotypical Venetian blinds every movie detective seemed to have, just to show the lines of light across their face when shit gets real dramatic.
It's part of the cinematography.
I walked in finding myself feeling a little anxiety-ridden at the proposal of how official this all seemed compared to just visiting an old high school friend with a problem, even if that friend had lost his fucking mind at some point. "Have a seat, Mr." came a deep accented voice from behind the chair that had its back facing me, behind the desk. It swiveled to reveal the man who was speaking to me, slumped down in it with one hand propping his head up with a fist, elbow dug into the armrest, his eyes half-lidded and uninterested. "Noble, Cal Noble," I responded instantly, though with a little trepidation in the words, since I suddenly felt as if my story wasn't going to register on this half-asleep man's radar, let alone prompt him to actually help me. I took my seat either way. He smiled a sleepy smile and rapped on the desk with a knuckle. "Noble, I see why Becky liked that name. It's a good name." He seemed to awaken a little then, but he still seemed so calm as to be worrisome to a type A fellow like myself. He was too at ease for my liking. "Well, Mr. Noble, it's a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. I'm Jack Jones. I specialize in your kind of case, actually, so I'm pretty excited to see what you got for me."
Jack Jones.
No offense, but the juicier the better. I've had a lot of boring cases lately. It's nice to meet you, too. I settled uncomfortably into my chair a little, a tiny fleck of anger burning at the center of me for the flippancy Jones was already treating my life with, but I kept it hidden and at bay, like always. "I'm here because my girlfriend, Melody, disappeared 3 months ago. The police haven't investigated anything. They say it's just a case of a woman leaving a man she's no longer interested in, and I can't believe that, Mr. Jones. I refuse to." "Ah, I see. The pig's dropping the ball yet again. Not shocking. Ironic considering the ball is pigskin, though. You'd think they'd have more respect for their dead," he said, without a hint of telling a joke or trying to be funny. Just a charming delivery to a standard statement in his own mind. I took stock of Jones for the first time then. He had prematurely white hair, looking only in his 30s, but his entire head of hair was shock white. Besides that, he had fairly long, youthful features, with a grin on them that seemed to come from some kind of foreknowledge that the rest of us wasn't privy to. He was wearing a trench coat over a dark gray vest with matching tie and a pair of lighter gray trousers with white wingtip shoes. He was quite the dresser now that I got a look at him, and that honestly made me a little more wary of them than I'd been a moment ago. "Well, can you help me?" I finally broke the silence between us. We had just been, staring at each other blankly while this voiceover happened, and it honestly kind of got awkward at the end because I just kept going with my monologue, but now that it was over, we could speak again.
Thank you for explaining that.
"Sure, why not?" Jones shrugged, slinking up out of his seat and walking around the desk to sit on the edge of it next to me. "I got a soft spot for hard cases, Mac. We're all in this together, after all. You got a photograph of this missing dame I could take a gander at?" "Oh, yes, of course." I suddenly felt much more at ease with Jones. He seemed genuine, if not flippant, in his desire to help me. I dug out of my wallet a small photo of Melody and myself standing in front of a water fountain at the zoo, and handed it over to him gingerly. He took it with just as much care. "That's her, my Melody." Jones stared at it for a second, then held it up next to my face. His eyes kept darting back and forth from the photo to me, until he held it out to me with just his forefinger and thumb droopily. "You sure she ain't ditching you, Mike? You ain't exactly Don Juan, and she ain't exactly your type. You should maybe be with somebody named, Beulah, or Large Marge, maybe."
Tell him Large Marge sent you.
"No, she isn't ditching me, Jones," I snapped, not even caring about the decorum at this point. "She happened to be blind, maybe," he added. "You're really pushing the line, Jones," I snapped again, my fist balling at my side. "Ha! That's good to see, Mr. Noble. You got some fire in you." Jones laughed, standing up from his seat at the edge of the desk and walking over to the hat rack in the corner. He retrieved his fedora from it and slid it onto his head, allowing it to rest loosely on the back of his head, slouching. "You really love this dame, don't you? It shows through. I'll take your case all right. We'll get to the bottom of things, you and me." I was flabbergasted. mollywopped without the penis head. I just sat there with my mouth drooped open before slowly closing it in the most awkward, weird smile of my life, probably. I was glad I couldn't see it, at least. You'll help me? Oh, my lord, Mr. Jones, that means the world to me. I'm sorry if I was a little cross before. You'll have to excuse me, but I really do care for Melody, and I really do fear for what's happened to her. Jones shrugged. It's whatevs.
This guy's ahead of his time.
He slid a small ledger across to me, which had a contract sitting on it, which he'd already filled in my name, the information about Melody, and left the pen next to the signature. When did you... I muttered, befuddled. I'm full of surprises, Mac. You'll see. He thought for a moment and then took his fedora off, doffing it against his leg as he paced past me back to the window behind his desk. As a matter of fact, here's the first surprise. Your girl and I have something in common right off the bat that'll make this whole case a lot easier. You both love me? I said stupidly.
Yes.
What? He said, turned back to sharply look at me. He didn't wait for the awkward response burbling in my stomach to come out. No, Jesus, your lady's black and I'm half. Keep it under your hat, though. I get the feeling that you're a bit more trustworthy with that information than most people these days, given your proclivities. That'll make the case a little more easy to follow. There's a whole world white folks don't know about that black folks gotta walk in. I know a little more about that than most is all. You don't look, I began, but he cut me off with a raised hand. Yeah, I've heard it, he said blandly, then chuckled. I chuckled.
Is the world Narnia?
What?
Is the world Narnia that they have to walk? He just doesn't say anything.
So stupid.
Yeah, I'm like, Rich is laughing at how stupid that joke is.
Is it Narnia?
The detective walks around the desk and he's got goat legs like Mr. Tumnus.
Yeah, is he Mr. Tumnus? He says he's half what? Half goat?
I mean, he's got a point, Jeff. You haven't specified what half he is.
Yeah, come on. Get with it.
Get real, Jeff.
I was doing so good this episode.
Yeah, I've heard it, he said blandly, then chuckled. I chuckled instinctively, the tension diffusing just a little. Just sign the dotted line and I'm your man. $20 a day plus expenses.
Woo! Jesus!
I was just about to protest the price a little and see if I couldn't get something that was at least in the same universe as my ballpark of a price, when the door to the office exploded open with the sound of a crash so loud that I leapt out of my chair, spilling the paperwork all over the floor. Jones didn't seem to move, just turned to look at with the same blasé look on his face he always had. Standing in the doorway was none other than Jaime Hardaway, panting, fists clenched and eyes red. I was both mortified and terrified all at once. Jones hadn't even made a sound. He just upturned the edge of his lip disgustedly. "Hold the fucking phone!" Hardaway screeched out, pointing a finger jaggedly at the two of us. He then bent forward and placed both hands on his knees, breathing heaving breaths in and out, trying to catch his breath. Jones and I exchanged glances. Hardaway lifted a hand to tell us to hold on. Jones shrugged. I scratched the side of my head. "You..." he began, then huffed another heaving breath, and then bent back over, placing his hands on his knees again. He then held his hand up for us to wait once more, still heaving breaths. "Oh, for God's sakes, Becky!" Jones called out, leaning to look out the door into the reception office. "He just barged in, Jonesy. I couldn't stop a man on a mission like that," Becky giggled, the sounds of clacking keys returning. "Enough games!" Hardaway yelled out finally, reaching into his back pocket and returning with a scrunched-up handful of paper. "You're not his private eye, Jones. I am. We already got the paperwork signed and everything." "What?" Jones said, tilting his head and looking down at me with a raised eyebrow. "You hired Hardaway? He's a full-on lunatic." "No, of course I didn't. I don't know what he's talking about," I cried out, protesting my own sanity by denying involvement in his lunacy. "Au contraire, mon frere. We go way back. And I've even got this." He unfolded the papers in his hands very deliberately, taking about 3 times longer than he meant to, just leaving everyone standing there waiting for him to get through it. Hold on, he muttered half under his breath, trying to flatten out the paper against his hands until eventually he held up the page to be seen. This! I squinted at the page, seeing the ledger I had signed, which read guest book at the top. I frowned. Hardaway didn't stop grinning ear to ear. That's a guest book page, I softly pointed out to Jones, who shook his head and shrugged with a look of understanding on his face. Oh, wait, shit, that wasn't supposed to... Hardaway yanked the top page off the pile, revealing that my signature had been purposefully bled through the page onto the paper below it. A writ of contract for a private detective services, with my signature right along the signatory line at the bottom. Hardaway's name appeared next to it in a much clearer, more obvious ink. Ta-da! My contract, his signature, my client. Eat shit, Jones! He then began to do what I can only describe as an extremely sexual thrusting dance directly at my face level, even though he was looking right at Jones. He tricked me. I didn't sign that. I squealed out, much to my own horror, jumping to my feet in protest. Classic Hardaway move, Jones said with a shake of his head. Legally binding, Mac. You're stuck with him. No! Eat shit! Hardaway screamed out, thrusting his fist full of scrunched up papers to the heavens. I'm better than Jones! I'm better than Jones! He began to sing and dance in place, arms in the air. Oh, God, I whispered to any single deity that could possibly hear me. Jones patted me on the shoulder. I cried a little. To be continued.
What the fuck?
Josh went so loud there, he peaked his microphone so bad.
Jeff, you need to go to therapy.
For what?
Your characters are all so self-loathing.
Cal's had a rough life, or Noble's had a rough life. I don't want people calling him by his first name. We already did that shit with Flinch for some reason. Everybody in this goes by their last name.
And the guy, Jaime, was his name?
Hardaway.
That guy...
Hardaway fucking loves his life, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame he's a scumbag, though.
I mean, we don't know.
We don't really know a whole lot about him. Like, Jones is, like, hyper, cocky and loves himself.
He could be Satan. Jones could be Satan.
Nah. Jones is a good dude. Well, I mean,
figured.
a lady did say that. We don't know if that's true yet.
What about, did Hardaway have, like, does he have amnesia or something? Why
he just doesn't remember Noble from high school. All these characters are in their like 30s, so they don't really remember high school very well.
I will reiterate something I've said many times on this podcast. You create some of the most loathsome, hateable characters.
Yes.
And, like, I'm talking Nurse Ratched sort of level of hate.
Yeah, like, fucked up. Like, super fucked up.
People don't like Nurse Ratched. They love fucking Pavlov Flinch.
I don't.
Yeah, Pavlov's a little bit like he dips his toe in the funniness.
Yeah.
But like this guy is just like pathetic. Like
Noble is a sweetheart that has been kicked down by life. He really does love Melody. Like I feel like that came through at least. That like he was happy.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Melody.
He's not a bad guy. God damn, dude. Like get fucking. I don't know, go buy a gun or something. Some confidence. I don't fucking know, man.
He was happy and content and really loving life when Melody was there, and now that she's gone, he's back to where he was before.
She better be dead because how could you do that to my boy? She better not be stepping out on him. Is all I'm.
Well,
Hardaway is gonna find out. He's gonna solve it.
What's he gonna do? Just sit back and be like, well.
Nah, I will say as like a little heads up, like a little, maybe it'll assuage some problems here. The next story is called Dueling Dicks.
It's amazing. That's the best name I've ever heard.
Remember, this man has perfectly serviceable dick. And
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
All right, I'm back.
He is confident enough in his dick game that he thinks everyone's wrong when he says she's stepping out for other dick.
Yeah.
No, I thought this was great. This
I did
was
too.
really funny. This
I
is
did
super
too.
good. You said it wasn't funny, but I don't know, man. That's some fucking really funny shit.
You got good
I
character work
appreciate
here.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when I have to like really buckle down on like characterization and story, the like insert jokes start to disappear and it gets a little more sparse, and I'm like, it might not be that funny, but I'm really glad that like the actual story comedy made up for it.
Yeah, you had nothing to worry
Yeah,
about.
it was great. Yeah, don't go all Cal on me, all right?
Yeah, you got a perfectly serviceable story.
Yeah, don't let anyone tell
I
you
have a
different.
slightly above average dick.
Slightly above serviceable.
We're going to take a break and let you decide.
If my dick is serviceable?
Yep.
All right. Tell us at the email, everybody.
Just rub the microphone on your crotch for 30 seconds.
All right, here you go.
Sounds serviceable to me.
We'll see you in a sec.
It's almost time to lock up the house. And then your party will really begin. I wonder how it'll end.
Welcome back, Squires. Part 3, the last part. It's me. So I'm going to just get into it, I guess. My episode this week is called Walter Ego Part 3. Who needs friends when you have, I don't know, checks change in pocket, $5, a chewing gum, and a dog-eared used bus ticket?
What a great title.
It's like a brand new song title there.
Ephraim.
Man, not.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
Ephraim stood in front of the board of the Super League of Supervillainy and DMV with his hands behind his back, waiting patiently for the annual audit committee to finish. Omega had already incinerated 2 people around the table today for producing PowerPoints and then proceeding to read every word on every slide. Ephraim did not want to join them.
God.
Janice, the administrator, not technically a villain, but an actual admin worker in a capitalist business, which probably qualifies as a villain, to be honest, turned to Omega and said, "I'll get those minutes to you by lunchtime tomorrow." "Thank you, Janice," Omega growled. Before he stood, even though his chair was already floating above the ground, and when he stood, he was still floating, so it was really not necessary.
Power move, man.
He turned to Ephraim, but waited for the others to leave. "So, dead shift?" Omega asked. "It seemed your friend disposed of our more useless members last time. Is all going to plan?" Ephraim nodded once. It is, but Walt Browning isn't Pinnacle, my lord, I assure you." "I do not feel so assured. Jazz Hands vehemently disagrees with your assessment." Jazz Hands was late to our meeting yesterday because he couldn't get out of his own imaginary box. Omega considered that. Fair. Ephraim kept his expression neutral. That was difficult around Omega. The man had the unsettling nature of someone who had killed more people than the American medical insurance industry.
Impossible.
Hey!
Impossible.
He's a super villain.
Waka waka.
Then explain the footage, Omega said. The timing, the interference. It was luck, Ephraim replied. Luck, Omega repeated. People trip, Ephraim said carefully. People survive things they shouldn't. It happens every day. Most of history is just idiots falling sideways through coincidence. How else would you explain Jimmy Fallon or Rebel Wilson? Personality?
So fucking
Well, one of
true.
them's nepotism.
Omega made eye contact with Deadshift. Do you know why this situation concerns me so? He asked. Ephraim said nothing because he knew it wasn't really a question. Because it encourages the cattle to look behind the abattoir curtain. Ephraim could see Omega was unusually bothered by this turn of events. We don't need people sniffing around. They don't ask where the metahumans come from, hero or villain. They accept the cycle because the cycle benefits them, unless they're directly slaughtered, but then they have the good graces to be dead, and therefore can't complain anymore.
I know how this guy votes.
Boy, this is the American medical system, isn't it?
He turned slightly. Walter Browning confuses my beloved system. His denials are enough to inspire questions from the moronic masses. And I don't mean our good friend the Blubbernaut. I'm not mocking him. He has a learning disability and likes to eat. Who can blame him?
Wow.
Getting called out Blubbernaut.
Really makes you think.
Not much.
Not too much.
Ephraim kept still. Omega noticed everything. Eye movements, breathing patterns, tiny shifts in posture. Talking to him felt like getting slowly cat-scanned by Satan. What's depressed? He's neurotic, he's broke. He's like the reason bottled soap has instructions.
Wow.
That's a unique insult.
That would hurt me more than any insult anyone's ever said.
That's rough.
Could that be camouflage? If it is, Ephraim said, Walt deserves like an award for commitment. There was a long silence. Then Omega smiled faintly, which was somehow worse than his normal angriness, I put.
Angriness.
Good, he said. The plan is in motion, but I still want you to continue. Ephraim's stomach tightened slightly. Continue what? Watching him. Omega moved back towards the darkness at the far end of the room. If he is Pinnacle, I want to know before the others do. And if he isn't, then I want to know why reality itself appears to be bending around an insurance adjuster with the personality of a recently divorced geography teacher with crabs.
The crab seems like a little extra stab that was unnecessary.
Where did he get the crabs from?
Toilet seat.
Oh no, my biggest fear!
I'm pretty sure that's not how that works.
Walt had been in the back of 3 vans in his life, and none of them had ever made him feel too optimistic. There was the one time that guy had tried to lure him into the back of his van with sweets, and then decided he wasn't pretty enough.
Jesus.
Who is making the depressing, fucked up characters now, Rich?
Jesus.
He remembered that he had been angry that he had been deprived of free candy.
My God.
There was the time he had protested against yet another war waged to game the stock market, and had ended up spending a night in holding. And lastly, there was the time he had helped a friend move, which weirdly was the worst instance.
That's the worst
That
one.
is the worst one. Until this one. Walt did not so much agree to go with his saviour, so much as he was shoved in the back of the van, tied up, and a bag put over his head. This better not awaken something in us, the voice in Walt's head said. Will you just shut up? Will whispered. I didn't say anything. The voice was across from him, directly opposite, with the kind of practiced stillness that wasn't calm. It was deeply repressed violence that was likely to cause some sort of internal tumour. It was the first thing he had said since they got in the van. The rebreather he was wearing had just hissed every few seconds, and Walt had waited the first 5 minutes for someone to explain something. Then 10. Then 30. No, you're safe now. No, I'm the good guy. Not even a pamphlet. So, this is a kidnapping, right? Walt said to no answer. Because if it is, I think you should at least tell me where we're going. It might not be a legal requirement, but it would be polite at least. Walt suddenly realised...
Kidnappers love telling you where they're taking you. It's their favourite.
Walt suddenly realised his hand ties had been cut, which was interesting. And more annoying than the kidnapping, honestly, because it implied that they weren't being kind. They just didn't think Walt was a threat anymore. And that annoyed him.
Yeah.
Truth hurts, Walt.
He thinks you're an A-grade pussy, which is weird because you're at best D-grade. Like that OnlyFans woman who slept with 100 men. Jesus, must look like a cat's deli sandwich down there.
Whoa!
Bonnie, what's her name?
I don't know.
Bonnie something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not my type of program.
Yeah, not on my list to watch. Yeah.
You're not helping, Walt said. The masked man's head tilted slightly. Did you just... Yeah, I talked to myself, Walt said quickly. It's just slightly less pathetic than podcasting, and the fans seem slightly more bothered by it.
It's less masturbatory, I'll say that.
That's true.
Silence. It was like attempting a deep and meaningful relationship with his father.
That one made me feel bad.
Who are you? Walt said, trying to sound as badass and brave as he could, whilst also aware that he was pretty sure a teensy bit of urine had dribbled out.
Who are you?
I'm the patron saint of stupid dumbasses, the person said through the rebreather, then pulled the hood off Walt's head. The guy was still wearing his stealth suit, coupled now with a long black trench coat which made 1990s prepubescent boys who loved The Crow get erections they didn't understand.
Oh, yeah. Don't go to school wearing that. You get in trouble.
My code name, if you must know, is Somnambulist. Wow, that's cool. You
sleeping?
Yeah, what a mouthful.
Sleepwalker. Don't wake him up. He'll fucking die.
Wow, that's cool. You can call me slightly embarrassed for both of us. The van turned hard and Walt had to brace himself on the bench. Then he turned and noticed the back doors. Not locked, just latched. All right, the somnambulist started. Walt took the opportunity and lunged, and his captor moved instantly, but too slow. Walt hit the doors, slammed a shoulder into them, and daylight exposed into the van. He jumped, and for one glorious half second, Walt Browning was free. Then gravity remembered he existed. He hit pavement, rolled badly, bounced off a curb, and introduced 3 separate bones to the sort of pain you'd normally have to pay a person for whilst wearing a ball gag.
So, like, good?
Nah, I fell down some steel steps one time. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I rolled down the side of a mountain and hit a truck at the bottom.
Oh, Jeff's is better.
Yeah, it is. I fell down stairs.
As I was saying, we're here. Walt turned and saw the van had already stopped. Somnambulist stood in the open doors.
That's a great bit. That's great.
Good escape there, Poodini, the voice in his head said. Okay.
Got him.
Okay, first of all, Walt said, breathing hard, your whole demeanour is just deeply unsettling. The masked man said nothing. And second of all, I want it noted officially that I escaped. A pause. Then the voice through the rebreather, low and flattened by the machinery. For 2.3 seconds. Walt shrugged. That still counts, all right?
It's like baseball stats. They need to be accurate.
Somnambulist stepped down from the van into the alleyway, then stopped in front of an ancient vending machine that had been somehow wedged into the side of the condemned brick building. He pressed B7, and the machine clicked. A section of wall slid open. Walt stared. You live behind a vending machine? Man, I almost wish that was a paedophile's van.
Oh my god.
Boy, we are circling back to this, aren't we?
I just love the way he says pedophile.
I do it for you. It was a bomb shelter once. Walt had already retrieved the chips that had dropped into the tray and was munching on the contents. Shame it didn't get hit, if you ask me. Somnambulist looked at him. Are you coming in? No. Do you want to come in? No, said Walt. But after being attacked last episode by Harry Pister and the second biggest monster known to humanity, I don't have much of a choice, do I? Second biggest? Somnambulist asked.
That was my question.
Yeah, my landlady's a real cunt. Walt stuffed another chip into his mouth.
I feel like we're working on different levels of evil here.
He stepped inside and the wall clanged shut behind him. Walt turned immediately. Well, he said, that's the sort of noise every future prison boyfriend hears, isn't it? The corridor ahead was concrete, damp, and lit by caged bulbs that buzzed like trapped wasps. Somebody had painted arrows on the wall years ago, but the paint had peeled. The arrows now pointed nowhere. Somnambulist kept walking. Walt followed because standing alone in a murder hallway felt somehow more pathetic than actually being murdered. You always this chatty? Walt asked. No answer. Only, I'm trying to figure out if you're mysterious or if you just had a really inappropriately touchy uncle and you're now taking it out on everyone.
He's obsessed with it.
Pedophile reference 3?
We might be at pedophile reference 4.
The rebreather hissed. That seemed to be all the conversation he was getting. The corridor dipped lower and the air changed. Hot circuitry mixed with dust and engine oil, the smell of old machines and old grudges. And at the end was a steel door thick enough to survive either a bomb or an Alabama Christian Church IRS audit. Somnambulist pressed his hand to a black plate and the door rolled aside. The room was bigger than he expected. It was filled with workbenches, screens, hanging cables, filing cabinets, crates with labels. Someone in here alphabetised, which meant one of two things. Either a set of superheroes lived here, or a virgin was hosting a Yu-Gi-Oh session. Yeah, you heard me. I don't give a fuck if you like Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what? I'm not even Googling if I spelled or pronounced it correctly. That's how little I care about that card-carrying loser who looked like he fucked an electrical socket. Bite me. Toonhounds is now on YouTube.
I always was like, is Yu-Gi-Oh a real card game? And I still don't know.
I don't care
if it is.
It is. I mean, it's like the second most popular card game on Earth after Magic the Gathering, so...
You can't prove it to me.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't care to.
Two heads turned, and both of them looked disappointed, which was like
I don't play that game, by the way. I don't play that.
Sure.
I'm actually too stupid for card games, so there is that.
Jeff hasn't got a collection or anything. Certainly not.
Yu-Gi-Oh is so lame. Whatever. Go ahead.
How many hit points does Blue Eyes White Dragon have?
A million.
Say anything.
Blue Eyes Bad Dragon.
Oh, nice.
That's a crossover that needs to happen, right?
We're gonna get
So much
sued
money
if we
in
make
that.
Yeah.
He was the unexpected guest turning up at a dinner party, and it wasn't just that he wasn't wearing a tie, it was that he had his cock out. The first metaphorical cock.
I forgot where the story was and got real confused.
The first was a woman at a bench, tightening something with her bare fingers. Broad shoulders and muscles big enough to suggest at least partial CTE from a promising career in professional wrestling. Her dark hair was tied back into a ponytail. She looked him over. That him, boss? Walt frowned. What's that supposed to be? She kept looking. You just look like a man who says sorry when someone else farts. That is the weirdly specific insult. Walt searched his memory.
True.
It's so true.
Walt searched his memory and realised he had actually done that once. Her assessment appears accurate. The second voice came from a nest of wires.
Cue me?
Walt turned to find a robot sitting plugged into half the room. They were an old, tarnished chrome frame, thin and tubular, like C-3PO had body dysmorphia. Its eyes flickered with static. A registry number on his chest was partially rubbed off. H-U, and a 3 at the end.
Yeah, I knew it.
Cue me! I knew it!
Jesus Christ, Walt said. They carved Clippy up pretty bad after the divorce. I understand that reference, but I do not appreciate its inaccuracies, said the robot. Look, I've had a pretty bad day today. Don't make me feel feelings about the sentient little toaster, okay? The robot paused. That was very insulting. Well, looks like someone fucking passed the Turing test, didn't they? Said Walt. Somnambulist shut the door behind them.
Walt is such an asshole. Anyone notice that?
He's really angry. He's been kidnapped. But yes, the somnambulist...
I've been kidnapped. It's my first time.
Somnambulist shut the door behind them. The sound carried around the bunker and settled into the walls. Nobody moved for a second. Walt had the sudden and deeply unwelcome sense that this was rehearsed, that they had all been doing something, and now they were all doing him, and not in the good way. Somnambulist stepped past him. This is Walt Browning, he introduced Walt to the room, and then turned back to him. Do not touch anything. Some of it explodes, some of it busts holes in the space-time continuum. Think of it as like Q's lab if he was prepping for the end of the world. Q is in James Bond, right? Because there's a Q in Star Trek. Walt stared and then let the sentence die.
Thank you.
And let the sentence die as Somnambulist glared at him. This, he pointed to the woman at the bench, is misconduct. She gave Walt a flat look and went back to trying to tighten a bolt with her fingers. What's your thing? Walt asked. She didn't even look up from her efforts to tighten the bolt. A man once called me sweetheart in a bank queue, she said. And I put an ATM through his face. That feels largely disproportionate, Walt stared. He also had said I should smile more. Walt nodded. No, that does track.
Yeah, that's it. There it is.
MC is our muscle, Somnambulist explained as they walked out of earshot. She's fueled by misogyny, so we have to be careful whenever she goes on a mission. Our last job she did in a tank top, and the catcalls from the building sites were so much the papers thought Stay Puft the Marshmallow Man was in town.
Like a band just it's in town this weekend.
She gets bigger the more misogyny is around.
Yep.
That's a dangerous power.
It's not sustainable.
Somnambulist noticed that Misconduct was struggling with the bolt still and patted her on the back. Need a hand with that bolt, sweetheart? Misconduct roared. Misconduct roared and swelled up like a conservative's dick when someone removes one of your human rights. She instantly was able to tighten the bolt. Thanks, boss, she said. Somnambulist pointed to the robot. This is Internet. The robot gave a small dip of its head, and a spring fell out of his cranium. I was built by Tim Berners-Lee to catalogue and optimise global information flow, it said. Then people started calling it the Internet, and now everyone thinks I invented pornography. Walt blinked. You made the Internet? I made the architecture, humanity contributed, recipes, fascism, and women being reduced to sex work in order to make a living in the year of our Lord 2026. Wow. Wow, said Walt. That is somehow both really impressive and profoundly disappointing. I have read that exact sentiment from every single human on the internet since 1987. A dry cough came from somewhere Walt hadn't noticed, and he turned. At first he thought it was one person standing in the shadow by the filing cabinets. Then the shape split. Twins. Same narrow frame, same badly cut hair, same exhausted face. They looked like a photocopier had tried to duplicate bipolar disorder and had run low on ink halfway through.
Oh my god.
One sat on top of a cabinet, swinging one foot, and the other crouched by the wall with a notebook open on one knee. Somnambulist gestured. This is Hindsight and Foresight, our resident strategists. Hindsight can see backwards, Foresight can see forwards, but there's real limits to their powers. Also, it makes them super annoying. Walt pointed. Which one's which? The one with the notebook spoke without looking up. I knew you were going to ask that. Walt frowned.
Foresight.
That doesn't really narrow it down for me. It wasn't meant to, said Hindsight. Foresight finally glanced up. In about 3 seconds, you're going to attempt to make a joke about twins, and it won't be funny. Walt opened his mouth and then closed it. All right, fuck off.
Jesus.
4 seconds, said Foresight. I was close. Walt looked between them. So you two do psychic stuff? God, no, said Hindsight. Psychics are frauds. We're specialists, said Foresight. Ah, so you're bullshitters. 3-card Monty fraudsters posing as superheroes, right? Hindsight stood and wandered over, eyeing Walt with the same detached irritation people reserve for software updates. Give me your watch. What? Your watch? I don't wear one. Hindsight stared at his wrist. You did yesterday. I can see the strap mark. Walt instinctively looked down. I must have lost it. No, said Hindsight. He reached out, took Walt by the sleeve and shut his eyes for half a second. You took it off in the bathroom at work because you thought the strap was making your rest sweaty and or stinky. And then Chad came in talking about hero branding and you forgot it on the sink. Walt went still. How did... I can read the last meaningful decision made around an object or in a place, said Hindsight. Useful.
Psychometry.
Useful
It is
when
psychometry.
It is. Useful when the decision matters. Less useful when someone spends 20 minutes deciding whether to jack off in the work bathroom prior to their last performance appraisal, which you did.
Oh,
Rough.
no.
Walt looked at Somnambulist quickly. What about the other one? Foresight held up a finger. Ask me something specific. Walt looked around the bunker, then looked at a steel mug sitting near the edge of a crowded workbench. All right, I'll play your little game. What happens if I pick this up? Foresight frowned slightly, like she was listening to a distant radio station no one could hear. You spill coffee on yourself. Walt blinked. Is that it? Yes. People spill all the time. That's not a power. That's standing near a drinks table.
Yeah, like if you're 5.
Walt reached over smugly and picked the mug up carefully with both hands. Nothing happened and he grinned. Wow, incredible. Next you'll tell me if I eat, I might need to take a shit. Foresight said nothing. Walt slowly raised the mug in triumph. Look at this, dry, untouched. Nostradumbass over here, seeing into the future with the incredible power of being wrong. You see, Walt continued, this is why no one trusts people who say they can see the future. You're all either con artists or women named Crystal charging $60 to tell divorced mums that because they're a Taurus with a Ouija board, there's a chance they'll commune with Archduke Franz Ferdinand and potentially find love. He turned to Somnambulist. Is your superpower humouring all these guys, or... His elbow clipped a loose cable hanging from the bench. The cable unplugged with a soft Internet switched, suddenly swiveled in his chair. Warning, said the robot. My sensors indicate that the server rack is overheating, and not just because I'm continuing to torrent Downton Abbey. A second later, one of the bunker's old fans coughed, sparked, and violently spat out a cloud of dust into the air. Hindsight sneezed. The sneeze startled Misconduct, who elbowed a wrench off the table. The wrench struck a hanging lamp, and the lamp swung sideways into a stack of folders, which slid off the shelf directly into Walt, who stumbled backwards. The coffee flew upwards in a perfect arch and drenched him front to back. Coffee dripped from Walt's nose. Foresight nodded once. There you go. Walt stood frozen.
Wow.
Walt stood frozen, soaked and furious, then slowly turned towards Somnambulist. I want it officially recorded again, he said quietly, that I already hate these people more than the supervillains. I'm not taking notes, said Somnambulist. They're very useful, but I understand what you mean. Somnambulist moved to the middle of the bunker. Everyone else had gone back to pretending they weren't listening. He looked at Walt. I brought you here because somebody sent 2 villains to test you. Yeah, I noticed that. They thought you were Pinnacle. I noticed that too. Somnambulist put his hands on his hips. I think that's bullshit. But we need to find out if you actually are Pinnacle. Walt waited. For some reason it irritated him. That's it, Walt said. You drag me into a van, throw a bag over my head, march me through your weird autistic bat cave, and show me the X-Men of disappointment, and now your big revelation is that you don't think I'm the most famous hero on the planet? Somnambulist said nothing, and Walt felt heat rise in his face. Everyone thinks I'm him. We don't, said Misconduct. The conclusion was immediate, said Internet. Almost insultingly quickly, said Hindsight. I mean, you tripped over the threshold coming in, said Foresight. Walt looked at all of them. Your criticism is still unnecessarily personal. He stood there for a second, suddenly angry in a way he hadn't expected. Not because they were wrong, but because they were all so certain. The indictment of his averageness. Then why am I here, if you're all so sure, he said. Somnambulist reached over to the wall and hit a switch. 3 screens flickered alive. Old footage. The superhero Peak flying through fire, moving so fast her cape couldn't catch. Mansplain exploding in a warehouse, taking 10 hostages with him. Blacksight returning after he had been lost in space fighting Massacre Master. A reporter crying into a microphone while Safe Space and Recall fought behind her. Another screen, another death, another resurrection, another impossible escape, another headline, another miracle. Do you ever notice, said Somnambulist, how nobody stays dead? Walt said nothing. Every supervillain comes back. Every hero survives what should kill them. Every origin story arrives camera ready. Every disaster somehow has 6 angles, clean audio, and a grieving witness with perfect hair. Internet's fingers clicked against the keyboard. Across 42 years of metahuman recorded history, the robot said, there are statistical improbabilities so severe that if the same numbers appeared in a foreign election, America would probably bomb it to its component elements.
No. Why don't we do it to ourselves then, Rich? You know?
Hindsight walked over to one of the screens. He tapped it. A caped man pulling children from a burning school. Same smoke pattern, he said. Another screen. A chemical plant explosion. Same crowd. Another. A bridge collapse. Same woman in the red coat. 3 cities. 4 years apart. Foresight spoke from behind Walt. In 2 seconds, you're going to say that doesn't prove anything. Walt swallowed. He stopped, bit his tongue. Somnambulist stepped closer. There's something wrong with the superheroes and the supervillains, Walt. The room had gone very quiet. Gods, accidents, cosmic rays, radioactive bedbug bites. He pointed at the screens. Origins, deaths, resurrections. Then what are they, Walt said. A door opened, the bunker's heavy seal releasing without security checks. Somnambulist didn't turn. Finally, he said. Walt looked up to find a figure standing in the doorway, a carbon fibre onesie in electric blue and a domino mask. Walt couldn't believe what he was seeing. Misconduct clicked her tongue. You're late, Quickstep. I wasn't, the man said. I just arrived when I meant to. Somnambulist stepped slightly aside, like presenting him. This is our resident speedster, Quick, he started. Walt squinted at him. Something about the posture, the economy of movement, the irritating confidence that nothing in the room was new information. Walt's stomach dropped slightly before his brain caught up. Ephraim? To be continued.
No! He recognized him! What the fuck? Yeah! I love this, like, fucking X squad, like,
but he's wearing a small mask over his eyes. How could he possibly recognize?
Yeah, they're all a bunch of losers, but I do love them already.
What a fucking sick team.
They're just useful enough, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
that's all they need to be.
Yeah.
Somnambulist is giving me, like, pretty heavy Sandman vibes.
Yeah.
And Sandman is, like, one of my favorite superheroes ever, so...
He's like, in my head, he's half Sandman, half Midnighter. So
that's a sick combo.
Yeah, He knows a lot more than he should. But we don't know what his powers are.
No, not yet.
I bet he got bit by the radioactive
Bed bugs.
and that's why he sleepwalks.
True.
I have an idea about this because I feel like when like you called him somnambulist and like was describing him this episode, I was like, this sounds incredibly familiar to something Rich and I talked about once before. So I think I know his deal already.
Interesting.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Interesting.
I'll keep it under my hat.
Do you know what? It's really hard to write a superhero story now that The Boys and Invincible has come out. It's like...
Yeah, they really kind of like...
They're trying to do everything.
And yeah. I mean, I know it is very much like The Boys, but like nobody flew up anyone's pee hole yet in your story, so
Not yet.
then that's how you know it's The Boys.
I mean, they've been doing comic book superhero stories for like 80 years at this point. I feel like The Boys and Invincible aren't the reason why it's hard to do a superhero story.
No. But they're the most obvious parody parallels, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So it's hard doing
They're
something
like
that is
funny superhero.
Not superhero movie from the Scary Movie guys.
God, how could we forget?
Damn it! Don't anyone watch it because that's what the plot will be.
There's a plot in that movie?
No, in my story. Yeah.
No, that was really fucking cool though.
Good.
Like,
Cool, yeah.
I mean, nothing happens really.
speaking of a despicable character.
Yeah, Walt is really angry. He's lashing out, but then he is schizophrenic.
He has he has all the reason in the world to be angry.
Yeah.
Like there's no like he's not overreacting.
No, he's not. But he is quite vile when he wants to be. Yeah.
Aren't we all?
And there's a Hume back.
Not me, fucker.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, yeah, and then there's Yumi, who is named Ned. That's confusing.
He can't remember his own name. He can't remember his own name. Is it
Can't
Hume?
remember his own Ned.
He did.
I did almost say that. I can't remember his own name. Yeah. I enjoyed writing that one. I didn't think I was going to because I'd only wrote 2 pages by yesterday morning.
Yeah, sometimes you get to that point where you're like, I can't write, and then it just comes out of you like jizz or pus or something.
Like ropes.
Ugh.
Like just thick Spider-Man ropes of words.
Thwip, thwip, thwip.
Thwip, thwip. Yeah,
Snicked?
exactly. Snicked. Saturday Night Nicked.
Where'd that come from? Every time you introduce a new superhero or supervillain, I get excited. It feels like they're new toys for me to collect.
I do as well. I do just think of names, and I'm just like, right, I'm going to use that as an aside. There was a hero, Safe Space. I mean, who knows what it is?
That's very, like, Invincible.
Yeah.
And they just come up with, like, and I think that's great that you're very good at that also. Like, that's, like what's the comic book he reads? Seance Dog?
Dog.
Like, what the fuck is that? Yeah.
Isn't it Science Dog?
No, it's Seance Dog.
Seance Dog.
In the original comic, it's Science Dog, isn't it?
I thought it was
I don't
Seance
know.
Dog still, because I think it's supposed to be like Doctor Strange.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
But
He's a dog.
I fucking love Invincible.
Oh, Science
yeah,
Dog
it's
is a
great.
comic book series by Robert Kirkman and illustrated by Cory Walker.
Right, there
So
you go.
Seance Dog is a parody of a comic that the creators of Invincible actually made.
That is wild.
Yeah,
It's really good, actually.
that's crazy.
I love that show. I know it gets I know it gets some criticism for its
This last one was really good, though.
Yeah.
This last season was really good.
I know it gets some criticism for its animation, but I'd much rather it uses
People are like, they want it to look like the comic, and it's like, yeah, man, but like,
I don't think they want it to look like the comic because, like,
Why would you-
the
yeah.
comic is it uses movement, like, you know, I wouldn't say sparingly, but like operationally, they
Yeah.
want it to look like anime fights from
Right.
like super high budget anime.
Right.
I think they use the animation budget where they need to, but I'd rather the writing and the voice acting be superb, and the voice acting is some of the best voice acting there's
Yeah,
ever
it's
been in
great.
an animated show. I'm not always for famous actors being voice actors. But that seems, because I feel that's taking away a job from someone who is a voice actor, like Frank Welker or someone like that, or any of the voice actors there's ever been.
I saw a meme on Reddit, the Invincible Reddit, that was from what the fucking Community, and it was the principal or whatever being like, "Oh, Britt is in this one."
Oh yeah, dude, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Somebody
was
posted
like-
that the other day. They said, I'm finally watching X-Men 97, and it was that scene, but it said, "Aw, Cable's in this."
Yeah, okay, was it this? Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can't wait for the next season to come out. I know this is like where the comic takes a little bit of a dip. We won't spoil it for you, Josh, don't worry.
I know what happened.
Oh, right, good.
In the comic Invincible, it is Science Dog. It's just the actual covers from the comic.
Why are they confusing us?
I guess they probably couldn't get the rights to Science
Oh, that's
Dog
probably right.
from the publisher that was publishing it to put it in the show.
Well, it's funnier as Seance Dog. Anyway.
Yeah. It obviously didn't mean that much that we didn't recognise it.
Yeah.
Seance Dog is very funny looking. I will say that.
Yeah. It looks like Doctor Strange.
He's like a real dog's head on Doctor Strange's body.
Yep. All right. Okay. This is in danger of turning into an Afterlords. So let's close the cover on this week's
stinks.
episode.
It's stinky.
Right. Our first prompt of next episode is
Oh shit.
by Stephen, Religious Artifacts.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Can we call that a relic?
Yeah, religious relic, religious artifacts, whatever.
How am I going to put that in? I'll figure it out.
And then the next one by a friend of the show, John Anderson of the famous Anderson brothers, no relation.
Yep. No relation.
Prisons.
Prisons. We didn't have this before. We didn't have
No,
prisons.
don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
There you go. Prisons
Religious artifacts
and religious artifacts.
In my
Tell her already
1950s mystery story.
I mean, you could just have him wearing a crucifix.
That's an artifact?
Yeah, it's a personal artifact.
All right.
If you think that you can suggest better prompts than that, maybe you can. And to prove it, you need to head over to patreon.com/storylords, where for as little as $5 a month, you can join the Discord, suggest prompts, get access to our stories in written form. What else can you do? You get access to an Afterlords, which is what we're going to do after the show. Maybe.
Yep.
And then for $10, you get access to the other podcast we do, which could be an extra Afterlords or a Cunt Rushmore or a redesign by committee. I'm not going to explain what they are. If you want to find out, you need to head over to patreon.com/storylord.
I mean, Cunt Rushmore is pretty self-explanatory.
And it's really obvious, like even to us.
It's obvious when we do it, we know how to play the game that we invented.
Yeah.
It has the same rules every time, and we all know how to play it.
Never changes.
That's the sign of a good game, that you can change the rules up and it still be as enjoyable and versatile.
That's the sign of a game that rich masters made up.
Yeah, the
On the
greatest
spot.
game of all time, Calvin Ball.
Storylords is also on YouTube, so you can, if you're doing a rewatch or re-listen, head over to there. Comment, subscribe, like, share with your friends, whatever. If you want information on the show and you want to see the story art, the episode art that I did and now Jeff does, storylords.page, storylords.card.co. Big thanks as always to Vidison for the use of his music, which is in the breaks and at the start and the end of the show. Thank you, Greg. We love you. If you want to head over to vidison.card.co, you can find anything about Greg there. I think it's got his bank details there. So you could go and steal his money.
Yeah,
if you want.
definitely.
It's got nudie pictures of him over there.
What?
He is updating it. We talked about.
Hold on, let me go there.
Yeah, he and I talked about this on day before yesterday. He's updating the card very soon with like brand new info, new links, new music. It's gonna be sick.
Nip slips.
Oh shit.
I guess my question is, why would we need the nip slips if there are full nudies on there?
Because sometimes it's like
you
when
want a little mystery.
Yeah, like when Victorians showed a bit of ankle and stuff like that.
If I'm not seeing your internal organs, I'm not getting there. All right.
Well, we know who the Bonnie Blue fan is.
Oh my god.
I remembered it.
Bonnie Cat's Deli.
Not my speed of internet program. Let's say.
The last thing I have to do every episode is pass over to Reese's so we can read out the Patreon fans and give them the accurate credit that they deserve.
Do what now? What am I doing?
Meat what?
All right, we've got another one of these to do. Okay, wizard tips. I'm going to do a little different today. If I call your name, you can stay. If your name is not called, you have to skip ahead to, 2-3 minutes till the British one starts talking again. Lord of Lords Squid Ludwig, concubine of Lord Stephen, Josh Henderson lover 69 of Lords, Hooch, Werewolf Bar Mitzvah, Gordon Ream, the brothers Anderson, Tom and John, Tom Jombadil, I think are their names, Anthony Stoker, Chris Bauso, Renee Kemp, Melonite, Ratty IRL, and the Pez King. Alright, so we're going to plan everyone else's surprise party. Wait a minute, you're here? You're still here? I knew it! I knew you would sneak in. I knew all of you would. You're going to make me use the black speech of Hodor to put a spell on you? You insolent little other people who didn't get their names called, whose people are better than you because they got their names called?
Right, so with that all done, thank you, Reese's. We're gonna say
welcome, British one.
we're gonna leave you. Don't cry. I know we're a valuable presence in your life. Not valuable enough to give us feedback or comments or reviews or anything like that, but valuable enough.
Bitter as a spoonful of medicine. Jesus.
But we're gonna leave you.
Pickled soul in that boy.
Gonna leave you for 2 weeks. Take care of yourselves. We love you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I love pickles.
Oh, I love pickles too.
Who doesn't?